Another thing that our public announcement of our exploration has done is raised a number of questions where people want to know exactly what certain parameters mean. One of them was, what is the CCSA? The CCSA stands for Coastal Collegiate Sports Association. It started as the Coastal Collegiate Swimming Association when we partnered with the MEAC, the Big South, and the Southern Conference, and all four of us went together and created a swimming championship. Well, we've since done a beach volleyball league, and to preserve the integrity of both of those as a single sport conference, the CCSA is now the organization that operates CCSA Swim and CCSA Beach. Both of those groups are Division I conferences, and they're both members of the NCAA. So when we refer to CCSA, we actually will be working with the swimming conference, and we would convert that conference from a Division I member of the NCAA to a multi-sport conference of the NCAA, simply by sponsoring all of the required sports with a group of schools that meet the required criteria. That is how we will be able to build a new conference without having to go through all of the NCAA regulations to be voted in. The Division I conference already exists. It's the CCSA, and we will simply convert it from a single sport status to a multi-sport status. So that's the role of the CCSA in this partnership. Another question is, why did you have to define an ASUN 7? Well, that's just simply for clarity. There was the last time such a split happened in the NCAA, the Big East formed two conferences, the Big East, and that was the Catholic 7. If you remember, the news media referred to them as the Catholic 7. Well, you need 7 schools that meet a certain number of parameters to start a new conference. So we have 7 schools that will meet those parameters for forming the new conference in 2023. So we refer to the ASUN 7. Another point that's arisen is, why 2023? Why is that the magic year for the ASUN's plan? Well, I'll tell you, there is a defined reason for that. Part of it is that's when UNA becomes an active member and will count as a football member. It's also when NJIT will have their 8 years of history in the ASUN, which gives us the 7 that we need to execute this plan. So those are some of the reasons. It also gives us time to make the arrangements for schools to withdraw from their current conferences without enduring any kind of undue penalty. A lot of conferences require a multi-year notice. We want to be able to provide that if in fact any schools will be moving from their current setting into the ASUN. So we really have a goal of working through the next 3, 4, 5 months to identify the schools that are interested in doing this, which we have done a lot of research on that and feel like we're in a good spot. But that also gives us a whole year to build the construct, to build the contracts, and to execute everything so that we know we've got it done right. And we do need all of our schools to agree. This isn't going to be a 75% vote. We want all 10 members of the ASUN to agree that this step will make them stronger and provide a better setting for their student athletes and a better way for them to achieve their institutional goals through their athletic department. One other question was, it seems pretty ambitious to expand from 10 to 20. Why is the ASUN trying to do such a large expansion, and what makes them think they can pull it off? Well, I'll tell you, that is an ambitious plan. We've done a lot of research on how the ASUN can expand and what the dynamics are as people move out. Football is the #1 reason, and we want to address that not only with a part-time plan, but a full-time plan. So the Southeast, football, obviously one of the primary college sports, and we would like to be a part of that equation, and we think that it would make perfect sense. But we do have to get all of our schools to agree. If some schools say, I don't want to do that, then we won't. Simple as that. So we do need the time to 2023 to line up the schools, to get ready and be in a position to execute, but it's just an exploration at this point. If we don't get the schools to agree, both our current 10 and the new ones that are coming in, all agreements would be contingent upon meeting the benefits that we intend to provide. So yes, it's an ambitious plan, but we believe it's time to be innovative, creative, and visionary leaders to provide the best setting possible for student athletes and the institutions that are members of the NCAA. And obviously, part of any story like this, people want to know, who are the schools? Obviously, you've done some research. You must think there's a chance, or you wouldn't have gone out and done this announcement. Well, yes, for over a year, we've had a confidential exploratory committee working on membership expansion. So yes, we do have some ideas and we do have some interest, but as to what those schools are, we're not going to make any public comment. We feel that's the fair way to treat the schools and the project, by keeping those potential candidates confidential. And if it gets formed, one last thing, we are not in a position to do anything that would harm a current Division I conference. So if we're building a new conference of 8, we would not accept any members that would put a current conference below 8. If we can survive at 8, we can partner with them and they can be 8, but in no case would we ever accept members that would cause another conference to lose their opportunities. Again, we're about building opportunities, we're about partnerships, and we're about the student-athlete experience. So we look forward to the exploration, and it's going to be an exciting time for at least the next 4 and maybe the next 14 months with the ASUN.